So why are you f***ing your sister, huh? That doesn't count, she said. Okay, I need to tell you a secret. I'm pregnant.
I would kill that guy.
Oh my god, I'm so happy she didn't murder me. Hi everyone, my name is Cherie and I am obsessed with true crime. So welcome to True Crime Anonymous. Today I'm here with my friend Rosie.
Hi.
Who does not want to be on camera, but you can see her hand. We are having dan noodles from Lao Ma Ban Mian. So it actually in Chinese it means like your mom's noodles, and you know, moms cook better. They're actually one of the most well-known instant noodle brands in Taiwan. They're one of the oldest, like for dried noodles. And did you know that there's this person called the Ramen Rater? And apparently he's really famous, and his whole thing is just he goes around rating instant ramen, and he recommended like this particular noodles for 3 years in a row. So I'm super excited to try it. They don't just use a bunch of artificial stuff. The noodles are guanmiao noodles from Taiwan, so it's said that you can cook it for as long as you want, but it's not gonna get mushy. Like, it's still gonna be perfectly al dente. For the sesame sauce, they use slow roasted sesame, and for the chili oil, they used canola oil with Sichuan peppercorns. We boiled up some bok choy over here, and here we have some pork belly, so that's gonna be delicious. Maybe we should rotate this so you can actually reach the noodles. Like, okay. It's my cheat day because my birthday is coming up, and we're actually doing a giveaway because I got 2 of these. Each one of them has 4 packs of noodles. I'm gonna post this giveaway on my Instagram. One of you are going to have a chance to win this. I'm gonna link it down in the description so you can check the rules and how to enter. Actually, I think this video is gonna go up the day before my birthday, so you better wish me a happy 18th birthday tomorrow. 20.
So it's 18th or 20th?
It's 20th. It's 20th. I think at the very end, when we put in the dry packet, it's like garlic. Right, I can taste the garlic, and the sesame is actually really, really fragrant. I like it.
It's really good.
I really like how the spring onion and just fresh chili goes with everything. I listen to a lot of true crime stories and true crime podcasts, but not a lot of people cover Asian cases, or specifically Taiwanese cases. I've never heard a single Taiwanese case. And I think it's because our court documents are not open, and we don't even talk about it ourselves. So even the craziest crimes, it would be in the news cycle for like a week or tops a month, and nobody talks about it because we're like, oh, we don't want to talk about bad things and we don't want to get involved, and then everyone forgets about it. So there was literally like an MRT mass killing, right? And it was in the news for like a month, and then everyone forgot about it. Today's case, I thought we're gonna do a Taiwanese case, and I've been wanting to do this since the very first episode. I was so hell-bent on doing this episode with Rosie because she goes to the same school as where this case happened. How do you feel about it?
It's like ancient history, and yeah, like you said, no one talks about it anymore.
Have you ever like been to the building? It's like a complete
the building
different
is like, it's not there anymore.
It's not there anymore?
Yeah, I
didn't know that.
I think they like dismantle it.
Oh, so they just demolish the whole thing and just pretend nothing happened. Yeah. But it's really, really famous. So this school is called NTHU. It's one of the top schools. So this whole case is actually known as like the NTHU murder. Yeah. Rosie and I have known each other for like...
Don't say it. Don't say it.
For like a really, really long time. And we've been classmates since we were in 7th grade, and then we were classmates all the way until 12th grade. Then we went to the same university, and a lot of people think we're sisters because we have similar names, and our dad literally has the exact same occupation. Our mom has the exact same occupation. They have the same education background, so every time we tell people about us, they're like, oh, so you guys are twins. So this is a question that's going to test our friendship. What would you do if one day we just like had a crush on the same guy?
I would kill that guy.
You would kill that guy?
Is it not a good answer? So the problem is solved.
By the way, the guy that you just killed, he also has a girlfriend.
Fine. I will find that girl another boyfriend. What else should I do? I won't kill you.
I wouldn't kill you. I would probably just wait it out because I think very soon we're both gonna get tired of this guy.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out that there's something wrong with it, and then we're just gonna go. But also, I feel like we have really, really different types.
Yeah.
Like you kind of
Totally.
like cute guys.
Yeah.
And I like daddies. You should have this with the bok choy.
Okay.
It's really good.
I'll try a little.
I think the noodle though, it's not as spicy as I usually make my food, but you can taste the spice.
Yeah.
So you actually do not need additional sauce.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Noodle.
It's a major cheat day for me. This case is really famous and it was very widely talked about, even though people don't talk about cases. Even when we were in elementary school, like this was like a decade later, people were still talking about this case. Like I remember there would be classmates talking about it. It would be news articles. And one of the reasons is of course because it happened in a top university, but also this case has just everything that you look for in a crazy drama story. It has sex, it has smart people, it has a murder. It's a shit show.
Yeah.
Also, this is the first case in Taiwan where someone tried to dispose of the body using chemicals, or at least make it unrecognizable. There were even so many tutorials online of how to make this chemical stemming from this case, and there were copycats, and I'm just like, it's not even hard to look for. Like you would just straight up go on to social media. At that time it was still like Yahoo. We had like a Yahoo blog and stuff. And you would just go up and then on the homepage it's like how to make this chemical. Yeah. And it was crazy. Don't get any ideas. So let's start from the very beginning of the story. There was this girl whose name was Hong Xiaohui. So for the purpose of the story, we're gonna call her Hannah. Hannah was born in 1974 in Kaohsiung to a normal family. So her family isn't like particularly rich, probably like middle class, but not very well off middle class, because middle class I still feel like it's a very big range.
Yeah.
But she was very intelligent and determined, and people just said if she wants something, she would just work for it and work for it until she gets it. She would not give up, even if she fails. She gets what she wants, okay? Hannah wants, Hannah gets. Which is scary because I used to say that. Like I would say, Shuri wants, Shuri gets, because we would go to a club and I would see a cute guy and I would be like, I'm gonna. In Taiwan, we have all kinds of exams. And for every kind of exam, you have a cram school that you can go to. We have like a college entrance exam. It would be kind of like the SATs, right? But it's a little bit different as in you can't really, I guess technically you can, right? You can take it as many times as you want. But with SATs, you have several SATs a year.
Yeah.
But with college entrance exam, it's like
Once a year.
I go to a lot of cram schools to either prepare for tests or get just ahead of people academically, which is like, you can't just do well in class. You have to do better than everyone else and you have to be like a year before everyone.
Yeah.
We went to the same high school, right? And we actually did that. It's just like everything we learned in class was a year ahead of everyone else in curriculum. That's why we stayed in the same class for 6 years, because no one else could come into our class and we couldn't go to any other class because we were literally learning different things a year apart. So she goes to this cram school because she wants to get a PhD, and this is where she meets her best friend for life, Xu Jiazhen. For the purpose of this story, we're gonna call her Jenny. They were so close. At one point, Hannah even wanted to ask Jenny's mom to be her godmother. This is the only other concept I can think of in English, because they don't really have this gamma thing. Yeah. For us, it's not like a religious thing. It's more like if you're really close, you can do that. We have a lot of people who are not related and we're just like, oh, that's my brother, that's my sister. Aries finds it very, very ridiculous. Every time I tell him about my brother, he says, you don't have a brother. But it's the thing in Asia, okay? Like culturally, like my father is a single son, but he has a younger brother because they grew up together. And then they're just like, okay, we're brothers now, and your mom is my mom too, and my mom is your mom too. So that's just how it works. Jenny comes from like a much better family. Well, financially, much better family. Jenny's family really loved Hannah as well, so they know that Hannah is not doing as well financially, so Jenny would often go shopping with Hannah, and she would just buy little gifts for Hannah, or she would just pay for dinner and things like that. After cram school, they get into the same university together for their PhD. This is, as previously mentioned, Rossetti's school. So it's National Tsinghua University, not to be confused with the one in Shanghai, which is really funny because I was watching a video and they were talking about the Tsinghua University in Shanghai, and the man is Chinese. The girl asked, where is Tsinghua University? And he said, I think it's in Taiwan. And then later on I found out the guy is literally from Shanghai. Wow. And I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, like, yeah, we have a Tsinghua University too, but maybe think of the one in your hometown first. Yeah. So this is NTHU, National Tsinghua University in Hsinchu. They both studied in the Institute of Radiation Biology of NTHU, and they're obviously both really smart girls. They're best friends, going to the same school, so everything is perfect. When you go to college, probably not in your hometown. Mm-hmm. And all of these people are not people that went to the same high school as you, and it's just really hard to make friends. I have zero. I made zero friends in college. I made one friend in college.
But you went to college in your hometown.
Yeah, I had no friends since high school. You know this. Literally, my only friend in college was Rosie, and this other girl from my department. But she moved back to Malaysia. So I just have some friends from Model UN, but a lot of them I already knew them in high school. Yeah. Then we became friends.
Doesn't count.
Yeah. That doesn't count, she said. That doesn't count, she said. Anyway, I digress. So everything is going great, but one day, Jenny comes to Hannah. Jenny was like, hey, I need to tell you a secret. I have a crush on this guy. His name is Tyler. Okay. His actual name is Zheng Huan Tai, but we're gonna call him Tyler for the story. He's also studying at the Institute of Radiation Biology, but he's 1 year senior to Jenny and Hannah. And Jenny tells Hannah this, and she said, but I'm only telling you because this is a secret, because Tyler has a girlfriend, and I'm not going to interfere with anyone else's relationship. I just need to get it off my chest. Okay, so I'm telling you the secret. We're best friends. You're gonna keep it for me. Keep it between us. And Hannah was like, sure. But one thing that Jenny did not know is that Hannah also has a crush on this Tyler. Okay? And you think Tyler is this super hot guy, right? I saw his picture, not even. Hannah is like, no, I also have a crush on Tyler, and I can't let Jenny beat me to it, so I'm gonna sleep with him.
Wow.
So she sleeps with Tyler. Jenny finds out Hannah slept with Tyler, and Jenny is like, I can't let Hannah get ahead of me. I'm gonna sleep with Tyler too.
Wow.
So they both sleep with Tyler. Tyler has a girlfriend. Tyler is fucking 3 girls at the same time. But he has a girlfriend, so he tells everyone, no, Hannah and Jenny, these two girls, I think of them as my sisters. We're just really good friends. So why are you fucking your sister, huh? After this, Jenny's and Hannah's friendship obviously deteriorated, but then one day they realized, hey, we're missing the point here. We're like fighting against each other, but we're best friends, right? And you know, neither of us can get him because Tyler, he has a girlfriend. So his girlfriend is our common enemy. We should team up and go after the girlfriend. No, that didn't even cross my mind. If he likes you, him having a girlfriend is not gonna matter.
Yeah.
If he doesn't like you, he can be single, you can be the last woman on earth, and you're not gonna be getting any.
Exactly.
So they start harassing Tyler's girlfriend, but Tyler's girlfriend doesn't really know what's going on. She has a motorbike because in Hsinchu there's not a lot of public transport. You just gotta go everywhere on a motorbike. It would be kind of like in the US, most places you have to drive, right? And in Taiwan, in bigger cities like in Taipei, you don't need to, I don't have a driver's license, I don't have a scooter, I have absolutely no ability to operate any vehicle other than a bike because I don't need to. because in Taipei you can walk everywhere, take a bus everywhere, or take the subway everywhere, and we have a very, very good, clean, and safe subway system. But in Hsinchu, it's kind of a more empty city. Everything is very far apart. They have like dense areas and then just nothing.
Rural.
Yeah, and then it's like you're in here and then you feel like, okay, maybe I'm in the city center, and then you step out and it's like, oh my god, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So you really just have to have a motorbike and bike everywhere if you're living there. So all Tyler's girlfriend knows is that the seat, the cushion of her motorbike just keeps getting slashed up, and she keeps getting it repaired and it keeps getting slashed up. She had to replace it several times a month and she had no idea what was going on. Tyler was also like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. Okay, that's what he said. He said, this is crazy. Right? This whole case, he annoys me the most. Okay, we don't have evidence that he knows. I mean,
he slept.
Yeah, you slept with them. How can you be that stupid? If he's that stupid, he shouldn't be studying radiation biology.
Yeah.
He's gonna radiate the whole world, create a bunch of evil Spider-Man. They would also work together to fight against any other girl that seems interested in Tyler or seems to just be too close to Tyler. The assistant of the lab, one day after they closed up the lab, she had dinner with Tyler, and Jenny and Hannah found out this girl, allegedly, like based on what we know, this girl is not even interested in Tyler. Okay, humans need food to survive, and she's like, hey, let's eat because we both need food. So Jenny and Hannah found out and they beat her up in the university's bathroom.
How old were they?
It was like
24.
23, 24.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's so childish.
And they're adults.
Yeah, people do these crazy stuff and you think you're gonna get them? Like, no, they're gonna think you're crazy.
Yeah.
Like, just like the case from last week, he chopped off his wife's hand because he was afraid that she was gonna leave him. And do you think this is gonna make her stay?
Just ran away.
Yeah. If you're being completely crazy and the guy knows, he's not gonna be with you. Let's say there's a super hot guy and it's just the best sex I ever had, but he's harassing any male that I'm hanging out with. I wouldn't continue sleeping with him. I would be scared. I would file a restraining order.
Yeah.
What if he like one day decides
to murder me?
To murder me, yeah. But Tyler obviously did not have these concerns. Yeah. He just continued sleeping with everyone.
Yeah, what?
During this time, Jenny and Hannah are kind of like frenemies, right? Because they're kind of dealing with other girls together, but at the same time they're competing against each other because they're still competing for his attention because he's still sleeping with both of them. So they're just competing. Who gives the better? No, just kidding. Okay. And Jenny, remember, she's from a rich family. She would start buying gifts for Tyler. This guy is just having the time of his life. Tyler accepted all of them. Like, he didn't care. He never gave anything in return, but then he obviously didn't mind getting stuff.
Garbage.
It's really weird. I would feel like it's so much pressure when someone is just giving me.
Not normal, so.
Yeah. But if someone gives me stuff all the time and I can never give them anything in return,
yeah,
I would feel weird. Like, I don't have to give them something with monetary value in return, but I feel like I have to give them
something.
Yeah. Like, there was this one time, this guy, I went out with him for a week, and then not even a week, like 5 days, and then he knows that I'm into art. Right after I told him, within the same hour, he goes and buys like a $3,000 drawing pad.
Yeah, I remember. He's crazy. Yeah, he's crazy.
He's crazy, but then also he's so he probably didn't care. Yeah. So yeah, Tyler is having the time of his life. He's getting presents and he's fucking 3 girls that we know of.
Yeah.
Hannah is thinking, okay, I can't lose to Jenny. Jenny is giving him all of these gifts. I am from like a middle class but not so rich family. I can't afford to get him gifts, so I gotta get a job. She starts working as an escort so that she can buy presents for Tyler. Escort is different from being a hooker, okay? It's different from being a prostitute. In Taiwan, it's kind of like, it's legal. They have these places that's basically called
Bar.
it's not really a bar, it's called like a drinking place.
Yeah.
But then you go there and then there's not just a place where you can drink, there's also like karaoke, or you can just eat and stuff, but you
rooms.
Yeah, and private rooms, and then you can just order girls to keep you company, but you're not supposed. I haven't used Uber Eats in forever, but it's like giving me messages all the time. Uber Eats is like my crazy ex. Even if you like work as an escort, so technically you're not supposed to have sex with the clients, but some of them still would, like if you would pay them enough. From what I know, like bigger, more well-known companies in Taiwan, they would say like, no, you can't do that because we might get caught, or ignore it, like they know you're doing it, but they pretend they don't know, and if you get caught, they say like, we have no idea that she was doing this, and she was doing it behind our backs. So we don't really know if she was doing that, but then we know that she's an escort to make money, to buy presents for Tyler.
Crazy.
I don't get it. So these are actually already really pretty well-paying jobs, and customers also tip you. I have known girls who work in this industry, and they said that on a slow month, they would make $70,000 a month, and then that's if they are slacking. In Taiwan, if you get like an average office job, you start at 25,000.
25, 28.
Yeah, you start at $25,000 to $28,000 a month. Okay, and then if you are like an engineer that is working your butt off, you get $50,000 or $60,000 a month. Okay, but escorts, they're getting paid $70,000 a month. But that wasn't enough. That money wasn't enough for her to get presents for Tyler. And so she started getting all of these rich boyfriends, and she would take her rich boyfriend's credit card or money allowance and then use that money to buy presents for Tyler. I don't get it. I would buy stuff for myself.
Me too.
I mean, for starters, actually, I feel really bad taking advantages of guys that I date. And I'm not just saying it to be like, oh, equality. I genuinely would feel really bad. I feel really bad taking advantage of people. Like, I feel bad even when people pay for my food too much. Like, there are some guys, especially in Taiwan, always insist on paying.
Yeah, why?
And I always insist on going Dutch, especially if I don't like this guy and I know I'm never going out with him again. If I know that I kind of like this guy, I'm going out with him again, I let him pay, and then I'm like, maybe next time I can pay. Yeah. This was in the 1990s, right? Cell phones were not popular. You think they had like iPhones just everywhere? No, we had Nokias. That just didn't break. Okay. So cell phones were really, really expensive back then, even though they were not smartphones, and they were just phones. Yeah, they were dumb phones that you can't even go on the internet with. You can't go on to Instagram. Instagram was not a thing. Facebook didn't exist. Yeah. But Hannah bought him a cell phone, and it's super expensive. So a cell phone at that time, just a regular dumb phone, is the price of an iPhone nowadays. Okay, and then calculate in inflation for the past 20-something years. Tyler, does he freak out? Like, oh my God, you're getting me an expensive cell phone, it's too much? No, he takes it. Oh my God. And then he continues sleeping with them both. Okay, so like in the middle at one point, I guess his girlfriend just couldn't take it anymore. They broke up at some point.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you full?
Yeah.
We still have so much food. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm just gonna rest for a bit.
Look at that. I'm just like eating nonstop. All right. I'm actually a little bit full too because I'm really not used to having so much carbs. In early March of 1998, Jenny went out with Tyler, and Jenny is the richer girl, right? The girl with the better family. She tries to use her credit card to pay for something, but her credit card got declined. And she was told that her credit card was maxed out. So she felt so embarrassed because all of this was happening in front of Tyler, this guy that she's into, who she's buying a bunch of presents for. And then she recalled, you know, who has used her credit card lately? Hannah. Hannah and Jenny, even though they are already frenemies, they do this thing where Jenny is always lending her credit card to Hannah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't understand. I wouldn't even lend my credit card to my sister. Not even my dog, okay? I trust my dog the most in this world. I would not trust my dog with my credit card. He would probably just buy all the treats in this world. Chocolate. He buys all the chocolate. You know when Doug loves chocolate. He's crazy. He's suicidal. He's always trying to eat chocolate. Did you know? And then he unwraps the chocolate. Do you know how difficult it is to unwrap Hershey's Kisses chocolate? I'm a human with fingers, and sometimes when I unwrap Kisses, I would just still get specks of aluminum foil.
Yeah.
He just unwraps it perfectly and just eats the chocolate. My dog is fine, by the way, but he's done this twice, and it's scary. What happened is that Hannah actually borrowed Jenny's credit card and maxed it out buying presents for Tyler.
Same purpose.
Yeah, my head hurts. I mean, well, at least it went to the same purpose. I mean, you know, your credit card got declined. You were trying to buy a present for Tyler. Let me tell you, I already did it for you. Don't even worry about it. Jenny felt super humiliated, so she decided that she's going to confront Hannah about this. Then comes March 8th, so close to your birthday. I was almost hoping that it was on your birthday.
Don't.
This was a Saturday, okay, March 8th of 1998. Because she's originally from Taipei, right? So Hsinchu is really, really close to Taipei. Rosetti is here back from Hsinchu for the weekend, right? It's like a 2-hour.
No, I think 40 minutes, right?
40-minute train?
No, bus.
Oh, so it's a 40-minute bus ride, and so it's even faster by train.
Yeah. Like maybe 30 minutes.
So a lot of students from Taipei would go study there, and most of them would come back every weekend. So Jenny was no different. And she was supposed to come home, but she didn't come home. Okay, and her parents couldn't find her, so they contacted one of Hannah's friends that also studied at the Institute of Radiation Biology to help look for her. And at this point, I was actually thinking, if they are so close and they also know Hannah, I would call Hannah. Like the first thing I would do is call Hannah. So I guess Jenny probably told her parents that they have a little bit of falling out. Because why would you just call a random other classmate? Our girlfriends always know where we are. She knows what I did last night. She knows what my dream was last night. If we went out and we had a conversation, she knows all of the conversation. She might have wrote some of the replies. So I don't know why the first thing they did was call this random friend. He looks for her, he doesn't find her, and on the morning of March 9th, he finds a body in the school's auditorium. But they weren't sure who it was. The face of the body was completely melted off. Like you couldn't tell who it was, and it was unrecognizable. Police were, of course, called, and their first guess was Jenny, because Jenny is the only person that's missing, and then it kind of fits the description, the size and build, female. And it wasn't just her face that was damaged. Her hands were completely damaged as well, so there were no fingerprints. On this body, they find a BB call. So for all the young people out there who don't know what is a BB call,
we don't know.
We actually don't know.
We don't know.
We had walkie-talkies when we were kids.
Yeah, but
we are like phones already existed. It's just cheaper to get walkie-talkies for the entire family. But you can't go too far apart with walkie-talkies. Like if you go to Disneyland and you have walkie-talkies,
no.
Sorry, it's too far. The range is closer to Bluetooth. BB call. Our parents used these. So I just told you guys that cell phones were really expensive, right? So most people obviously are not spending like a month of their income on cell phones, which we sort of do nowadays. Don't know why. Most people have this thing called a BB call, and there are public telephones. So when you need to call someone, and you can either call like landline, right? Do you guys even know what landline is? Yeah, some people have phones in their home, okay? And then you have actual wires that is connecting it, and then that is called a landline. So you either call their landline, you call their home, or you call their office, you call their school, right? And if they're not there, you call their BB call. But they don't just pick up their BB call and talk to you like a cell phone. No, their BB call just beeps and it rings, and then they tell you which number called you, so that you go to a payphone or you go to a landline and you call them back. Jenny's parents confirmed that, yeah, it looks like the BB call that their daughter had. The way that they identified the body is that the police asked them to call her machine, and then the machine on the body rang. I feel like it's just so terrible because if I were the parents, I would just be praying that it doesn't ring.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would also be like, but I want to know where my daughter is. At the crime scene, the police goes through it because obviously she's all melted off. It's not natural causes, okay? You don't just naturally melt your face off. The police examines the crime scene and they found a used condom with semen in it. And so they thought this was probably a rape and murder. They also found a broken piece of nail at the crime scene and it did not belong to Jenny. So they thought, okay, this must be the murderer's nails and maybe they were fighting and in a struggle, the nail broke off. March 11th, at this point, Jenny's body was already found. So everyone knew that she was dead. But then police noticed that there was activity on Jenny's credit card. And her credit card, another credit card got maxed out again. So whoever is going around using this dead girl's credit card, probably the murderer. It was Hannah. She's probably out buying presents for Tyler again. My head hurts. They're supposed to be smart. Police also matched the broken nail at the crime scene to Hannah. So then they take her in. And Hannah was said to just be really calm. And she kept denying that it was her. In the end, they were like thinking, okay, they still want a confession, right? It's easier if you have a confession. Okay, we're gonna appeal to her emotional side. This was her best friend. So they take her to the coroner's office and interrogated her in front of Jenny's body. Ew. Which I was like, oh my God, that's a thing. I didn't know that was a thing. They were hoping that she was gonna show some emotion and confess. But she just acted like she had no feelings at all, like it didn't matter, and it wasn't her, okay? But they had enough evidence to prosecute her, so they didn't need a confession, they just wanted one. During the trial, Jenny's mom showed up and cried. And she said they all liked Hannah so much, and how could Hannah murder her daughter? She said, Hannah is just sitting there, showing no emotions, no remorse. I don't believe that this person regrets killing my daughter even one little bit. At this point, Hannah finally breaks down and cries, and she confesses to the entire murder, and she just like kneels down in front of Jenny's mom and begs for forgiveness. Now we're gonna hear her confession. So now we're finally gonna know, how did Jenny die? On March 7th at 3 a.m., Jenny and Hannah decide to meet at the school's auditorium to talk things out. Which really annoys me because it's such a popular thing in Taiwan. It's always like someone is having like some issues with the ex-boyfriend, with the boyfriend, with the whatever, and then they're gonna meet up to talk things out, and they always end up having a violent altercation. Right? They always have this thing. They always say like talk things out, and in Chinese it more translates into negotiation. What are you gonna negotiate, especially if it's like a romantic issue? You can't negotiate me into not liking him. Like, unless you have some evidence that he's a terrible person. If you have something to say, text me.
They don't have phones.
Oh, sorry. Send me an email. Write me a letter. It's romantic. Like, okay, but nowadays, okay, in modern times, if you really have something to say, you can call me, okay, if you have to. But I'm not saying that I'm gonna pick up. You can try. They meet up to negotiate through this situation, and Hannah told Jenny to leave Tyler. Okay, she wasn't joking. She straight up just comes up to her and say, you give up on Tyler and give him to me now. And Jenny refused, so they broke into a physical fight. Which also, I would be really pissed if I found out that if two guys had a crush on me and they decided to talk things out themselves without me involved. Like,
yeah, why?
What if I like him better? Like, what do you mean you guys are gonna talk it through? Jenny is actually stronger than Hannah. And in the beginning, Jenny had the upper hand throughout the entire fight. But at one point, Hannah grabbed Jenny's hair and just rammed her head into the floor several times. Jenny was knocked out, and Hannah proceeded to strangle her. And it's actually a huge fear of mine to have my hair caught. And also when I was a kid though, my mom would always grab my hair when she's really angry, and then she would pretend to be putting my hair into a ponytail, and she would grab my hair and then bang my head against the desk. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm not in physical danger anymore, okay? It's a miracle that I'm not a serial killer, okay? I probably suffered a lot of frontal lobe damage. Maybe that's why I make such terrible decisions. Really bad taste in men. So she strangles her, and then Hannah, remember, they are smart people who study radiation biology. Hannah went back to the lab and she took some chloroform. So chloroform is the thing that we always see in movies that you use to kidnap people. And then it actually doesn't work so fast. It doesn't really work like that in the movie where you just put it on your face and then immediately you pass out. No, but it is a little bit poisonous. So in real life, it doesn't really work that well, because when you put chloroform on a person's face, it's not even, a lot of people think, oh, maybe it's gonna be undetectable, but no, because it's kind of poisonous, it actually burns your skin a little bit if you have high enough concentration to knock someone out. Jenny is already knocked out, so that's not the point. The point is, like I said, it's poisonous. So she actually poured it on the back of Jenny's head, and then she just leaves. She left Jenny there, and because Jenny is not unconscious lying there and there's so much chloroform and she keeps breathing in all this toxic gas, she dies from it. Hannah just goes about her day because this was 3 a.m., right? She probably goes to sleep, goes to class, and then she comes back 16 hours later. She finds that Jenny is dead, and she's like, she wasn't nervous at all. This was her own account. She wasn't panicking. She was like, no worries, I can handle this. She goes back to the lab and made an infamous batch of aqua regia, which sounds very poetic and beautiful, aqua regia, but no, it's a very, very corrosive liquid. It's a mixture of, I'm gonna read this because I'm not a chemist. It's a mixture of nitric acid and hydrochloric acid. Together is called aqua regia because it's known to be able to even dissolve noble metal like gold and platinum. Hannah comes back to the auditorium with the aqua regia she cooked up. She proceeded to pour it on Jenny's body. She wanted to just melt her, but then she realized, oops, I didn't make enough. So she focused on pouring it on Jenny's hands and face to make her unrecognizable. Then she tried to stuff Jenny's body in the air conditioner, which in the past we didn't just have these small air conditioners. In some older schools they still have those. It's like it looks like a huge refrigerator and it's really loud, and the whole thing, it's an aircon, but it wouldn't fit, so she just chucked her under the air conditioner. And then she went back to her dorm, went into her trash, and found a condom that she used with Tyler a few days ago. Ew. And put it at the crime scene. So she was like planting it. She was trying to frame Tyler, which
I thought she loved him.
Her defense was that she just really, really loved Tyler to the point that she was overcome by emotions, and it was a crime of passion. But many people are saying, like you said, but then you were trying to frame Tyler. What do you mean you really, really love Tyler? Remember in the very, very beginning when we were talking about Hannah's childhood, we were saying that she was a really hard-working girl? So a lot of people who know her are saying that whatever she wants, she worked the hardest to get, and she would only stop when she gets what she wants. So it's not that she just was so in love with Tyler, but at this point in life, Tyler was her goal. Like that she just needed to get Tyler. It's something she wanted, and she needed to have him. That was their theory as to why she did it, because we don't really know why she did it. She said it's because she loves him, but most people don't believe it. But I don't understand. For a guy, really? For a fuckboy? Not even a nice guy. He's like cheating on his girlfriend left and right and sleeping with everything with the hole. After all this BS, Hannah and Tyler got expelled from NTHU. On June 10th of 1998, the court of Hsinchu convicted Hannah of murder and desecration of a human corpse. By the way, in Taiwan, we don't have a jury. You just fight it out in front of a judge. She was sentenced to 18 years in prison and 10 years of disenfranchisement. It means that you cannot have a government job, you cannot be elected, and you cannot vote. So this is what it was. But in 2005, they actually changed the law, and that's what we studied because we learned about this after 2005. Later on, they changed the law. Basically, you still can't have a government job or be elected, but you can still vote. But really, does this matter? Because 10 years of disenfranchisement, and she was in jail for 18 years. So this entire 10 years, she is in prison anyway. She's not getting any government job in prison. She also has to pay 24.1 million and 70,000 NT dollars in restitution to Jenny's family, which was about 723,000 US dollars at the time. If you calculate in inflation, it would be 1,279,000 US dollars in 2022. Of course, she didn't pay all of this at the time. She could slowly pay it back in installments, and then after, and also because if you're in jail, you don't really have the means to make money to pay back, so then you can continue to pay after you are released. By the way, Tyler was interviewed and he was like, oh yeah, of course, I'm just really sad about all of this. And then he promptly left the country and he went to the US to continue his studies. Yeah, so I guess he has a pretty rich family too, because you just...
I hate him.
In 1998, to just decide to, let me up and go study in the U.S. It was, you had to be from a pretty rich family. On June 11th of 2008, Hannah applied for parole and was denied. Then, on November 27th, 2008, she applied for parole again, which was the 5th time she applied for parole, and was finally granted, and she was paroled on December 3rd of 2008. So she served a total of 10 years and 8 months for a pretty brutal murder. Hannah moved back to her home in Kaohsiung, and she was actually contacted by a foreign company to be a translator. Many of the family's neighbors actually supported her, and they were like, we're willing to hire her. But to avoid the press, the family moved, and Hannah changed her name. Tyler also returned to Taiwan for work, and he also changed his name. What I don't understand is Jenny and Hannah were like beating up other people, breaking stuff, vandalizing for so long, and no one ever called the cops, and no one ever thought like, maybe these two need to go to therapy. I don't know. I mean, it's not like nobody knows. At least Tyler knows, right? But Tyler is just a piece of shit.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and it's so unsatisfying for me in this case because Tyler had absolutely no consequences.
Yeah.
He got expelled, but so he just went to the US.
Yeah.
And then he came back, and then now he has a job. He just got off scot-free. Makes me so angry because this whole thing is his fault. I'm not saying that it's an excuse for Hannah to kill Jenny, but finish the sentence for me in a politically correct way. But we hate Tyler.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's his fault, but we hate Tyler. He's definitely the catalyst. It's not his fault, but he played a big part in it, and he did nothing to try to stop them, and he did nothing to try to stop them from harassing his own girlfriend either. So gross though. Why would you keep a used condom in your trash can for 2 days?
So gross. Stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like sticky, and then like stuff can grow in it because it's so nutritious. It's so nutritious.
Don't.
So for guys, let me tell you a secret. I actually Googled the nutritional value of seafood, and I was like, hey, it's pretty good. It's really good for you. Another thing that I don't understand though is NTHU, mostly they have scientific departments, and in Taiwan, there's a huge gap. Like a lot more guys study in the scientific field, and girls mostly study in the social studies field. I'm sure like there's some sexism or some gender discrimination at the root that is the cause of this, but it is a phenomenon. Just more guys study scientific topics. So in NTHU, there are significantly more male students than female students, especially back in the early to late 90s. It's even worse. It's better now, but it's still pretty serious, I heard. Is it?
Like 6 to 4, I think.
Six guys, 4 girls.
Yeah.
Which is literally the opposite of our university, our
one.
college, bachelor. Yeah, it's like 9 girls to 1 guy, okay? It's actually a running joke. Like they all say like, oh, if you want to pick up girls, you go to NCCU. Yeah, and if you go to NTHU, you're gonna be single forever. Like this is a joke for straight guys. So why are they all fighting over the same guy?
Not handsome.
I saw his picture. Wasn't even remotely cute. Some people were saying, oh, it's because they were all blocked into such a small circle, and maybe like the only guy or only eligible guy or the best guy out of.
He's not eligible.
That's right, he's not eligible. To be eligible means that you're single, and it also means that your personality and your accomplishments and everything would make you a very ideal partner. So yeah, he's not eligible.
And Hannah was an escort.
Yeah, and Hannah was an escort. What do you mean? They're gonna be so much better, guys. These people, they're usually successful businessmen.
Did Tyler get married?
We don't know, because Tyler just changed his name after he came back from Taiwan. Came back to Taiwan and got a job.
If he's married, then I feel sad
For his wife.
Yeah. And his children.
And do you believe in once a cheater, always a cheater? Or do you believe people can change?
I'm not sure. Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Right? I feel like, okay. I believe people can change, right? Because we know people who have cheated, but then are no longer cheating. But I wouldn't take the chances of getting back together with this person.
Yeah.
And then also I think sometimes it's maybe like you just don't like me enough. But maybe you meet someone else and you're not gonna cheat on her.
Yeah, maybe.
But also, I think there are certain types of cheating where it's like once a cheater, always a cheater. For example, if you're fucking 3 girls at the same time and taking their money.
Yeah.
Oh, and I really don't understand. He knows that they're best friends.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's so messed up.
I think he did it on purpose. Like, because he had a girlfriend. So if he like only sleep with like Hannah or Jenny, I think maybe Hannah or Jenny, the one that he's not sleeping with, would
go tell the girlfriend.
Yeah. If they're all sleeping together, then no one would tell the girlfriend.
They're all sleeping together. Make it sound like it's an orgy.
Like, if he sleep with both of them, they would team up.
Tyler is a manipulative. We don't know. Don't sue us.
Yeah.
We're just guessing.
Yeah, we're
speculating.
just guessing.
It's pure conjecture. I'm so full I can't move anymore. We might have overestimated how much we could eat.
Like 2 packages.
This is 4 servings. We made 3 servings.
We only ate 2.
And we made 500 grams of pork shoulder. And then we have bok choy. I'm pregnant with food. I have a food baby. All right, so that's the end of today's story. We're gonna go fall into a food coma, and when we wake up, we're gonna continue finishing this food. And we will see you guys next time with another true crime. Bye.
Bye.